The Big 12, Saturday, January 13th, preview and picks edition on the Big 12 College Experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, a sports betting research platform for parlays, props, game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets or visit HOFBets.com. Code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. We're also brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform for U.S.-based and legal states in all 40. Head over to cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Promo code SGPN to get 10% bonus today. And we're also brought to you by the SGPN NFL Playoff Challenge, sponsored by Edge Boost. Free to enter, and $20,000 in Edge Boost deposit bonuses up for grabs. Enter today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NFL playoff. And welcome, everybody, to the Big 12 College Experience Happy Hour, Friday, January the 12th. Game number 3 in the Big 12 Gauntlet, round number 3, 2 rounds in the books. Time to get right into it. If you're wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. And joining me on the Big 12 College Experience is a man that was born in Provo, Utah. He's got family in Ames, Iowa, and he lives in Morgantown, West Virginia. He's the co-host of the Ryan and Rush Show, Rambling Rush. Rush, what's up, man?
Excited for round 3 tomorrow. Ryan will be on Media Row for the West Virginia-Texas game, covering it all, seeing the press conferences after. Hopefully it's a nice victory press conference for the West Virginia Mountaineers. I'm sure we'll get there soon, but good to see everyone. Happy hour. I guess I messed that up there, but
happy.
we're happy. We're feeling good. Ready to go, man.
Yes, we are. It's good. Round number 3, man. We're going to pick each and every game. The lines are out Saturday. Another loaded slate in college basketball. But first, third man in the box. You guys see him around youtube.com/college experience. He's got his Oklahoma State shirt on.
No, Jeff Gordon, baby.
And so I thought that was OK State.
Nah, I'm trying to take down. No, I'm trying to take down Patty C for coolest shirt on the stream. This sweet ass Jeff Gordon shirt that barely fits me anymore.
That's a good challenge we should do. Just cool shirts.
I swear it was an Oklahoma State shirt when I logged on, but hey, I'm wrong. Jeff Gordon, get over there, NASCAR Gambling Podcast. But you know him as the green mowing, weed growing Big 12 guru. Troy, what's up, man?
I made this vodka lemonade way too strong, so maybe my picks will be better on the last 3 or 4 games once I get halfway through this thing. But it's a pretty good Friday. We're about to get some rain here in Northern Virginia all night long, so it's going to be sweet to just sit down. I mean, there's a few good games on tonight, but Saturday's slate is pretty loaded, even just here in the Big 12.
Yeah, no, it's going to be loaded. Quick recap: we 14 games into Big 12 play. I'm 9-5 leading the way, 1-1 on my locks, 1-1 on my dogs. Thank you, Iowa State, Hilton Magic. Rush, 8-6 overall, 1-1 on his locks. Also 1-1 on his dogs. You were on Iowa State with me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Iowa State comes through. Troy, 6-8. He's 0 on the locks and dogs, but he's going to turn.
Pardon me. I'm sorry. I was on Texas, and I locked the Texas Tech.
Yeah,
too.
You like Texas.
Oh, yeah.
I went crazy. Felt good about it. I like that.
And if you want to flip a coin with Kennedy, you're sitting at 7-7. Go fucking figure, everybody. That's why they call it gambling. So flip a coin and boom, you're 7-7. Kennedy's losing money via the juice. So, all right, man. Quick thoughts on the Big 12 before we go in. Recap a little bit. The weekday action, obviously, the headliner, Iowa State beats Houston, knocks them off. A fantastic game. UCF, welcome to the Big 12 moment. They're able to upset Kansas. So number 2 and number 3 go down in the Big 12. Baylor hands BYU their second consecutive loss in this league. Another welcome to the Big 12 moment for BYU. K-State goes to Morgantown, unfortunately, hands another loss to the Mountaineers. Texas Tech pulls away from Oklahoma State in the second half, and Rush hinted on it with his dog. Texas was able to get a big road win to get back to 1-1 at Cincinnati. And the final game of the weekday slate was them Frogs, man, on that fucked up court, putting it on the Oklahoma Sooners, giving them a loss. Troy, I'll go to you first. Thoughts on the the games from Tuesday and Thursday this week as we head into Saturday?
Well, again, we had the home teams kind of win out. I mean, the UCF game was
bonkers.
What I said about the bounce house in basketball not being as wild as the football stadium was completely wrong. They were going nuts in there. But I do think the story from last week into this week, or the middle of the week into the weekend, some of these teams are probably spent after a couple of big wins in the middle of the week. I think you might see some regressions from those teams like Texas and UCF just into the weekend. But man, I don't know. The UCF might have smoked all their bath salts in the middle of the week, and they don't have any for the weekend. So
yeah, no doubt.
We'll see if they can keep it up. I mean, if they can keep the arena rocking like that, they're going to be a serious problem for a couple of teams that overlook them.
Yeah, we'll see if that was just a Kansas thing, Kansas coming to UCF for the first time, or it was a real thing. But Rush, your initial thoughts, your biggest takeaway from another exciting week in the Big 12 weekday games?
2 takeaways I have. Number 1, Big 12 officials, little ticky-tacky there. We'll see if the season goes on and they start swallowing their whistles more. That BYU Baylor game and the West Virginia Kansas State game. The refs seemed like they wanted a little bit of the spotlight too, and you see that from time to time. Other takeaways too, and I'm just talking right now. I don't need this to be replayed in 2 months and be like, oh, Rush is an idiot. I'm talking right now in the present. I'm not saying they're done, but Kansas has some concerns. It seems like everything revolves around Hunter Dickinson, pardon me. And if he's not involved or on the court, bad things are happening. So we'll see. Big game between Oklahoma and Kansas this week, and obviously we'll get to it. But that's a game where it's like, who's a little bit more legit than the other? So maybe Kansas finally is like wakes up and smokes them, but issues with Kansas right now.
So real quick, I know we always talk about how Kansas is going to win the Big 12. Kansas is not a good January team. They're never good. They get really good in February. So I think everybody's they overreact, it seems like, every single year to whenever the Jayhawks lose, just the national media. I wasn't, just from following Kansas all these years, I wasn't surprised at all that they lost the other night. They do this every single year. It's like I said, it's when they get into February, fix things up, Bill Self gets to work. So that's just the reality of things. So my big thing was, man, Hilton Magic. Hilton Magic strikes again. That place was on fire. They jumped on Houston 15-0. Houston's got a hard one on Saturday, too. They got to go to TCU. So it's like, hey, man, welcome to this fucking league where you're not playing fucking Tulsa and Rice every other night. But Houston's going to be better because of it, too. I think they're going to be more ready come March because of the schedule that they're playing. Mm-hmm. So they're going to take their lumps. And I think, if anything, too, we should never overreact in college basketball, because just look around the country. Purdue goes down. Tennessee goes down. Who else went down? Gonzaga last night. FAU should have went. Everybody's going down. So it's hard to win on the road. That's why you got to protect home court, because if you don't, then you're looking at a losing streak because you got a road game on deck. So let's get into the games, though, because everybody's here to hear about this loaded Big 12 Saturday. But first, we got to talk about the SGPN Playoff Challenge. Proud to announce the SGPN Playoff Challenge has Edge Boost as the first bet now, play later provider that enables you to double your bet at any sports book with no interest. The contest is a bankroll style with 10,000 virtual units at the end of the playoffs. Biggest bankroll will win credit into higher advanced limits with Edge Boost. Winners get a top 3, get a deposit match on Edge up to $2,500, no interest. Top 25 up to $500 with no interest. That's over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NFL playoff to enter. Over at this sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NFL to enter. We're also brought to you by DraftKings, the official sports betting partner for the NFL playoffs. It's bringing you $200 instantly in bonus bets. DraftKings is the best. We're going to read our odds from DraftKings Sportsbook for these 7 Big 12 games. But get over there, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, and use the code SGPN. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 787-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for a gambling problem. Call 888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire in 168 hours after insurance. See DraftKings.com/football for our eligibility and deposit restriction terms and responsible gaming resources. We're also brought to you by the Game Time app. Rush, I know you're a big Game Time guy. It's the best place to go when you want to get to a game, isn't it?
Absolutely. Went to my bachelor party, Ryan. UNLV versus Hawaii, Allegiant Stadium. Popped right up. We didn't sleep much from the night before. You are in Vegas, but Game Time makes it easy. See your seats right from the app. Just pick them, get your Uber, take you right there. So, Game Time's great. Obviously, Troy, we've used it. I've come sit with you during Nationals games, Caps games. Whenever I need a ticket for anywhere, just hop on the Game Time app and best interface, best app out there. Love Game Time.
Absolutely the best. Snag the tickets without stress with Game Time. Perfect place for the playoffs. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Code CFBX for $20 off. Terms apply. Again, create that account. Redeem code CFBX. $20 off. Download the Game Time app. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All righty. We're back on the Big 12 college experience. We're getting right into this bad boy because, man, we got one right off the freaking bat. This game's on ESPN Plus. Don't you love it?
How is
Kansas, because it's a fucking top 10 game, and they're like, we got to get our money. Oklahoma, Boomer Sooners going to the PHOG. Kansas is laying 5.5 right now as of this moment. So, obviously, both teams coming off a loss. Oklahoma, double road trip, double road spot. I think the initial lean definitely is Kansas because it's a bounce back at the PHOG. I definitely think Kansas is going to win the game, but Oklahoma has played there tough in the past. I see this one playing out back and forth to about the 30-minute mark or 10-minute mark in the second half, under 8 timeout, and then I think Kansas creates a little bit of separation late, and they make their free throws down the stretch. I think there's some holes in Oklahoma that TCU was able to exploit. The athleticism of Kansas, the experience. It's off the loss. Bill Self, we know the trends. Simple fact, I'm going to take the PHOG here. I'm going to lay the 5.5 with the Jayhawks. I think you get it now. I think it's going to go up to 6.5 or 7. So I'll lay the number with the Jayhawks minus 5.5 to give Oklahoma their second straight loss. Troy?
Yeah, with both teams coming off a loss, it makes it a little trickier because if Oklahoma had won that game, this would be an easy lay with Kansas.
Yes.
But I still think that it is, believe it or not. Just the game being at PHOG is it's so hard to pick against them playing at home there, 8-on-5. So, I don't see Oklahoma as the team that's going to go in there and beat them, but that 5.5 number is pretty big, and you do want to get it right now because, like you said, I could almost see this getting to 7, maybe even 7.5. But at 5.5, I'm going to lay it with Kansas, and I might have to buy 3 more beers for 3 more reps.
Rush.
I am joining you guys. I've already picked Kansas first 2 games in January. I'll learn next year not to do that, but you like to think third time's a charm. I do agree with you, Ryan. I think it's a game in the first half, and then Kansas does what Kansas does in the second half and starts building some of that confidence. Obviously, we've talked about the wins Oklahoma going to kind of start falling back to the pack. I think this is that game. Third time's a charm. We'll make it 3 in a row. And I do agree with you, Troy. I mean, you if you're going to bet on Kansas, you get this number now because it's going up. I have no doubt. Even if it goes up to 6.5, it gets little worrisome. So let's see what Kennedy has to say. I accidentally dropped him on the ground. So, there he is. Kennedy's trying to escape. He's worried about the Texas schools again. Kennedy's on Oklahoma.
All righty. So what is working in Kennedy's favor? I got it pulled up. Obviously, year number 3 of Porter Moser. Oklahoma has actually played well in the PHOG the last couple of years. Last year, they should have won. They got fucking jobbed by the refs. That was a Kansas moneyline play. They blew like a 15-point lead. Kansas won by 4. Last year's 10.5-point favorites. And then 2 years ago, they were where is it? They were 10.5-point favorites and won at the end. Oklahoma missed a wide open 3. So the last 2 years, Oklahoma has kept it within this number. But I don't think Kansas was off a loss in any of those. So that's the main handicap. We will lay the number with the Jayhawks.
Yeah, and always remember, Kansas at home, you can take that money line at halftime if it's a tie game or if it's a 1-point game, because teams are going to get jobbed. There's no way around it. You can get mad at it or you can make money from it. So I prefer the second.
I prefer the second too. Alrighty, man, let's move along in the slate. And I don't want to jinx ourselves. I think we're all going to agree on this one. I kind of think this is actually one of the easier handicaps on the board. BYU laying 5 in UCF. UCF, the Super, taking on the Super Soaker down at the Bounce House. UCF's off a Super Bowl win. BYU's 0-2. Double road trip. I think they stayed out in Texas and then they came over to Orlando. I think they bet out on the road. I like him in a desperate spot here. I think BYU is going to put it on him. I think this is the get right spot for BYU. UCF, that was great, but this is an emotional letdown. BYU, this is a game where we see why their Ken Palm and their analytics are so far ahead. I thought they played actually really well at Baylor the other night. I thought they got kind of fucked by the referees. I like what I see from BYU, despite being 0-2 from a talent standpoint, experience. I think these guys rally, and I think they get it done at the Bounce House. I'll lay the 5 on the road.
This is probably one of the easier picks, I think. I mean, you say that always going into the weekend, and it never quite works out. But from right now, laying the points with BYU seems like the very easy play. Now, I will say you do have to handicap when the game starts to air. If the camera is showing a bunch of hot chicks from Orlando anywhere near that BYU sideline, that's the only way they can pull this out. But I'm gonna lay the 5 with BYU.
I think there's going to be a lot of BYU fans here.
I agree.
They're going to show up, a chance to escape cold Utah for nice sunny Orlando. Go to Disney World. I'm with you guys, laying the 5. I also think this is, if you want to bet this game, especially BYU, you get this number now. I could see this easily going up to 6, if not more. Letdown spot for UCF, everything you guys were saying, BYU. And I do agree. I do think maybe not should have won, but I think BYU probably should have covered against that Baylor game. I think the refs got to them, and hey, this is that game to say we are BYU. We're favored in Ken Palm, like you were saying, Ryan. We do deserve that little number next to our name. This is the get right spot, and we'll see what they can do from there. I'm taking BYU -5 as well, and we'll see what Kennedy has to say. He is on UCF. Kennedy's going Dogs.
There we go. All right, Kennedy. UCF, very, very shiny Knights. Good luck, Kennedy. You're going down in this one. All right, I'm intrigued. Go ahead.
I was going to say, statistically, Kennedy's going to either hit the OU or the UCF.
Yeah.
Kennedy's going to go get down on. That's what he's not going down. Someone's going down on him.
Oh, God. I'm interested to hear what your guys' angle on this one. K-State's going to Lubbock. Texas Tech laying 7.5. Really good home court. They're 2-0 in league play. Both 2-0 in league play. Why is it? I feel like this may be a bait to take K-State. That's kind of where I'm seeing. I'm just looking at Texas Tech does have Houston on deck. K-State looking at it. They got Baylor on deck. I mean, I guess every game in this league is a fucking look ahead. I think this is actually perfectly placed. I
agree.
I think I'm going to take the points, actually. I think Texas Tech's going to win by 6. I think this is a tough, drawn-out fight. K-State, I think they have the guards to match up with Texas Tech. Tyler Perry and those guys. Last year, when they played in Lubbock, Texas Tech did win by 8. Year before that, they won by 5, so go split the difference. I'm going to take the points. I don't have a lot of conviction in this game, though, guys. I'm just going to trust Tang to keep this thing close. I'll take the Wildcats.
I'm not going to get baited by the 7.5 kind of being a little bit inflated. I'm going to lay the points with Tech here, but I think this game might be a little bit up and down the floor more so than a defensive style game. I think you're going to see a good amount of points here. Maybe the over would be a smart play if you don't really have the conviction on the 7.5. Maybe it comes down a little bit because people get baited into K-State and you can get Tech at 6 or 6.5. But as of right now, I'm still going to lay it. Lubbock's crazy. It's so hard to go into West Texas and do anything fun unless you're from West Texas or are like used to the area. So yeah, I'm going to lay it. And I think I'm going to go harder on the over here, specifically on this game.
I like the over. I know I'm getting chalky, but I'm going to lay the points as well. I mean, I watched this Kansas State team against West Virginia on Tuesday. I don't think they're very good. I'm not saying they can't show up for games. I'm not saying they can't, but I mean, they've played UCF and then West Virginia. I think this is kind of their wake up call. I know 7.5. I do agree. It's a perfectly placed line. I'm not locking this game, but I am picking Texas Tech minus 7.5. And Kennedy is going K-State.
K-Staters.
He's going Kennedy Dogs.
Yeah, he is on all the dogs. So, all right, real quick, before we dive into the second half of the Big 12 slate, we got to talk about Cut. Cut is peer-to-peer social betting platform for U.S.-based and legal in 40 states. You can play head-to-head with your friends anywhere you want. Reminder, Cut is the peer-to-peer social betting platform that is based in 40 states. Head over to cut.com. That's KUTT.com and use that promo code SGPN to get 10% off your bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog has a great way to play alongside your favorite players all season long with NFL, NBA, college hoops, and college football. Troy, I know we just got done with that game, but I know you have a underdog play on the Texas Tech Red Raiders and Kansas State Wildcats.
Yeah, just kind of based on my feel that there's going to be a little bit more up and down. I'm going pretty chalky on this one. I've seen Arthur Kaluma kind of turn his game around here the last few games. So I'm going to go higher on the Arthur Kaluma points at 12.5. And then I'm also going to go higher on Pop Isaacs at 17.5 because Pop Isaacs fucking rules. I don't know if there's any way they're going to hold him under 20. So it's just a little two-way 3-1 double higher here in the same game. And yeah, the last couple underdog plays, we've been screwed by the third pick. So we'll just eliminate the third pick and hopefully get 2.
Yeah, I like it. I'm with you. So get over there, get over to Underdog, and you see it on youtube.com/thecollegeexperience. TCE SGPN is a promo code. Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. All righty, next game on the slate.
Ooh.
This is an interesting one. Oklahoma State's going to Iowa State. Iowa State also off a Super Bowl win, just like UCF, feeling themselves. Oklahoma State 0-2, desperate spot. Call me crazy. I think Oklahoma State might win on the money line. They have won back-to-back years in Ames. For some reason, they play well in Morgantown and Ames. I don't know what it is under Mike Boynton.
I know.
They like. What do we call it with Kramer and Sean? Oh, the flow chart. Flow chart. Oklahoma State plays well in Stillwater. Iowa State plays well in Oklahoma State plays well in Ames. Iowa State plays well in Stillwater. I like the Cowboys here. I'm definitely all over the Cowboys here. I may give this out as my dog, to be honest. We see it with Iowa State, man. They're up and down. They got up for the big one. Now they're 13-point favorites? No way. Oklahoma State.
Yeah, this is just too many points for me. I think Iowa State wins the game. I don't know if I'm very convicted on the Oklahoma State money line play. There is still going to be a little bit of Hilton magic, but I don't think it's 13 points worth of covering Hilton magic here. I mean, I'm taking the points for sure. I would almost think this one goes down because of the number being so inflated. Yeah. But as of right now, if you're going to give me 13 points, the funny thing about Oklahoma State is they have such a tough issue playing in Ames, the football team, but then the basketball team seems to play dang well, maybe even better than they do at home in Ames. But yeah, I think the Iowa State squeaks this one out, 2 points and maybe 2 free throws or something like that, and win by 4. But give me them points right now, baby.
Couldn't agree more, guys. This might be a little bit of a letdown spot for Iowa State. I don't have a feel on which team's going to win. I think it comes down to the end, and maybe even Iowa State pulls away a little bit, but not 13 points worth. Give me lucky number 13 plus 13, Oklahoma State. This is probably so far the pick I feel the best about. So, OK State plus 13. And Kennedy and I are finally on the same page, and he's still going dogs, man. He wants that roadhead.
So 4 cross. Nobody on the Cyclones laying the big number. What would this number be if they had not beat Houston? 9.5?
7?
I was thinking 7.5, 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I think 7.5 is right.
Yeah, man, this is an overreaction. And honestly, I know Oklahoma State ended up getting Texas Tech pulled away, but Oklahoma State played decent at Lubbock. It got away from them in the second half. They were up 10 points early. They just fell apart. So Cowboy up, baby. Let's go. Shout out to the chat. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely shout out to the chat. Love you guys. I'm actually curious, and I would like to know the chat's take on this as well. Kind of a question to think about, maybe a little rhetorical. We don't have to answer right away. What matchup, not even on Saturday, but teams that haven't played each other, what matchup are you looking forward to the most in the Big 12? Now that we have a little bit of a sample size, one weekend, what are you excited for? Like, I think, for example, Texas Tech, Iowa State could be a great game. Like, I don't know why that came to my head, but.
Not to be TMZ, but Kansas and Houston. I really want to see those teams play and see if they can punk Kansas, because Kansas does not do well against physical ass teams. I mean, that's why TCU always bothers them. It's because they just punked them. And you look at the West Virginia teams from the past, it's West Virginia. Kansas can be a soft team. They're the bully. They don't like getting punched. So I'm interested to see how those two teams match up at the end of the month when they square off. How about you, Troy?
I hope this one's a sweet transition, because it was kind of the game that I've been looking forward to ever since Cincinnati went on the road and won in Provo. But Cincinnati going to Baylor could be pretty interesting. Yeah. I know Baylor should be able to win that game, but Cincinnati has, they started off with kind of a weaker schedule, so we didn't really give them too much credit. But if you can win on the road in Provo, you can go to Waco and win a game. I don't know how well they'll execute, but I am pretty excited to see how this one plays out.
If Hugs was still in here coaching, WVU Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been.
No doubt.
So,
no doubt. Unfortunately.
He might be coaching.
We don't need to go down that road. But anyway.
I don't want to talk about it. I will talk about the game tomorrow night that I'm traveling up Saturday morning. The Texas Longhorns are going into Morgantown, West Virginia. Texas laying 5.5. Number's a little short. Number is a little short here. Texas off the big win. They put Dylan Dessou back in the lineup, went for like 33 and 10. Mountaineers don't have a matchup for them. The matchup says Texas, but this is college basketball. I think this place will actually be rocking for this game. It's Saturday, 6 o'clock. A reason for everybody to go get drunk. I think this would be the best crowd of the year, Rush. That would be my prediction. 6 o'clock Saturday night for Texas. The last time they come to Morgantown.
Yeah,
this is a spot.
It is. I think this is right. Lane just said it. It's the horns down game. Maybe the team is struggling this year, but everyone here hates Texas. So this is more that game where you're coming because you just hate the other opponent so much. Saturday, 6 o'clock in Morgantown. Couldn't ask for a better setup. I mean, obviously with Oklahoma too and Kansas on deck, and Texas not being as strong as what people thought. This is kind of another now or never with this West Virginia team.
Back-to-back home spot versus back-to-back road spot. Team lost at home. The other team won on the road. Mountaineers all day. Mountaineers are going to win this game. I think this is the one. I'm with you. Let's go. Let's go Mountaineers. Troy?
I will not be betting West Virginia at all, except for the Raekwon battle over points. I mean, that's he's had one 4-point game, and besides that, it's just been 20, 26, 24, 26. He can really score the basketball, but I just can't trust this West Virginia team. I think maybe it's a pretty close game until the last 4 or 5 minutes, and Texas gets to that 7 to 9 point range. So I'm going to lay the points with Texas, but I would be pretty interested in seeing what West Virginia's first half line is, because I think they might even have a chance to go into halftime with a lead.
Yeah.
It's interesting you brought up that first half line, Troy, especially with Raekwon Battle, because last game scored 21 points, obviously hit the over, but 18 of those points were in the first half. So he kind of he didn't disappear in the second half, but you could tell, things were kind of getting to his head a little bit. The team obviously struggled. I could see him. I don't know if I'd bet the over in the game for Raekwon Battle, but maybe that first half he might want to come out, kind of try to redeem himself. So just interesting notes there. Do what you got to do. It's your money. But let's keep drinking the Kool-Aid. West Virginia all day. West Virginia money line. Smash it. Let's go Mountaineers. And Kennedy finally landed on tails. Keeping with the underdogs.
There you go. Let's go Ears. Quick side note. I actually was part of this game. My last year when we were bad, I think it was late February. We were a 3.5 point underdog to Texas. They went to the Sweet 16 that year. We lost by 1. We actually got screwed. We should have won the game. We led the entire fucking game.
Was that the Andrew Jones game?
No. That was a COVID year. It was a game Brock Cunningham got thrown out. Yeah, we led the entire game and got fucking screwed. I know everybody's down on West Virginia, but just remember, 2 games ago, they were right there to beat Ohio State. Like, I'm pissed off that they lost to fucking K-State the other night. I'm pissed off they lost to Houston, but I don't think you just write them off with the spread. They just covered back-to-back games right before that against Toledo and fucking in Ohio State. I mean, they've had 2 bad lumps. I think they're going to win. I mean, really
that's the point of the spread. It's to try to make the matchup even. So,
yeah. No, this could be a tight game. Horns down. I ain't fucking picking Texas. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah, it worked.
There you go. You got it back. All right, let's go over to Hall of Fame bets real quick before we dive into the rest of the slate. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, props, game lines. Research all NFL, NBA, and soccer with historical data. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame bets revolutionary parlay tool to get each leg broken down, as well as expected probabilities. Sort all players, hit, rate, to bet, learn, and which ones have value. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users with Hall of Fame bets to craft a more intelligent, data-driven parlay. Download the Hall of Fame bets or visit HOFBets.com. Code SGPN to get 50% off your first month starting today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame bets. All righty.
2 games to go.
Ooh. If Mac used Hall of Fame bets more diligently, he would stop betting West Virginia.
They're 2-2 in the last 4. Everybody just gets so caught up in the last game. They had a shitty second half. I mean, I don't think, like I said, they've covered big numbers. They should have beaten Virginia outright when they were a 10-point dog. They aren't horrible against the spread. All right, since they got their guys back, that is. Let's go over to Houston, going to Fort Worth.
Great line.
Give me TCU. Houston's going to find it. That's a hard place to play. That fucked up rubber court that they got that breaks your eyeballs every single time you turn on the damn TV. Houston, first time back-to-back road spot. They will have some fans there. I think Houston will travel. But I mean, I like TCU here. I like the home dog. I think TCU needs another marquee win. I think Houston struggles to score on the road. I think it's going to be a rock fight that comes right down the wire. I think TCU wins on a tip-in. Classic Big 12 game. Give me TCU.
This is almost on the BYU level of lay the points and lock it without even thinking. Any other team that would be going on the road as a favorite to Fort Worth would be tough. But Kelvin Sampson, this is a smash spot for Houston. I know they have trouble scoring on the road, but TCU is not going to be able to get to that 52 or 53 point number. This could be a rough one, I think, for TCU. I'm completely against your pick there. I think this is almost, you're thinking alternate line at like 7.5 or 8.
I think this is the come down spot a little bit for TCU. I think TCU is a good team, and I think they're going to be ranked here pretty soon. Like I talked about kind of going into the season, was the biggest question mark 2 teams I thought were either Kansas State or TCU. And I think Kansas State, even though they're 2-0, still a lot of concerns there. I think this TCU team's actually really good. However, bounce back spot for Houston. I agree with you, Troy. Maybe not in the alternate lines, but I'll take the 5.5 with Houston. And Kennedy's taking his first favorite as well. Staying away from that. Well, I guess it's at Fort Worth, but staying away from the Fort Worth area. Probably a good idea for him. So Houston.
Kennedy was a beer guy, not a wine and cheese guy.
I love TCU here. Nobody's going to be on them. That's going to be a rock fight. I'm telling you. You want to see some fucking athletes? Go watch these 2 teams play. They're going to beat this is going to be like a football game out there. This isn't going to be a basketball game on that. I just
don't think LJ Cryer stays as quiet as he did last game for 2 games in a row. He's never really had back-to-back Big 12 games where he hasn't, at least played a factor compared to, I think what did he have, 4 points or 5 points or something? I just don't think that they're going to be able to stop any kind of like transition game that Houston's going to be able to force turnovers on.
Where Baylor with Cryer struggled all the time is everybody struggles at TCU. That place sucks. It's amazing how nice their football field is, and then you looked at that basketball court and you're like, what the fuck did they fucking do to this stupidest court in America? Actually, maybe UCF. From the Frogs. UCF might be worse. I was watching that game there and I'm like, why is the court fucking black? Make the fucking court a basketball court. It doesn't need to be your logo. Or your school colors. I hate that shit. All right.
Boise State.
Enough of me ranting about how much I hate that fucking court. Let's go to this fucking game. This is intriguing. Cincinnati's going to Baylor. This is also a perfectly placed line. I agree with you, Rush. You got Baylor coming in hot. You got Cincinnati coming off the loss at home, but they've already gone on the road and won. I struggle with this one too. I think I may lean Cincinnati. I think I'm going to lean to Cincinnati here to lose by 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. I think Baylor has shot the ball really, really well these last couple games. I think maybe this last game against BYU. Bridges, I know, made a bunch of shots. I think they don't make as many. They Saturday against Cincinnati, who's really athletic and they're big on the inside. I'll take Cincinnati in the points. I think Baylor gets out of there by 4. So give me the Bearcats here.
Yeah, this is a line that I don't know which direction it will move. The 6.5 could bait people into Cincinnati, but the same
may stay put.
I was going to say the same thing could happen from, people thinking Baylor is a way better team. It might just stay right where it's at, but just playing at home, I think I'm going to lay it with Baylor. Again, a little bit biased. Do like Baylor, but ever since they've been playing Missy a little bit more in the post, they've been able to get a little bit more energy and some better rebounding. So I would not be shocked if Cincinnati won this game outright. I definitely wouldn't be shocked if they covered, but I do think Baylor playing at home at the new arena is a little bit of extra juice for them. So I'll lay it.
I think we talked about this. BYU had Baylor on the ropes. Saw that in the chat. Definitely probably should have covered that game. I think this is kind of a little bit, not a letdown, but things even out here. I think Cincinnati obviously wants to bounce back after that Texas game. I'm definitely taking the points with Cincinnati. I'm not saying they're going to win this. It may come down to the end and, a couple foul shots make it a 4-point, 5-point game. But I'm going Cincinnati. I'm going with you, Ryan. I agree. And Kennedy is on Baylor.
All righty. Sick 'em. Yeah. Has a newcomer covered a number yet in the Big 12 on the road at a old or a familiar member? Because Cincinnati's the only one that's got it done on the road, and that was at BYU, correct? BYU did not cover at Baylor, but Rush and Troy, I think we all agree. I thought BYU actually looked pretty good the other night against
They didn't
Baylor.
look bad. Yeah, I agree.
Just like I thought Cincinnati looked good against Texas. I just thought Texas was more desperate and that thing came down to the wire. Houston did not cover. Obviously, they lost outright. And then UCF did not come close to covering. They got fucking wailed on when they went
I don't think a newcomer's covered on the road. I'm going through it. I don't think they have.
No, just the two newcomer matchup.
So does that mean that they're all due here, or are they all about to get smacked again? Houston at TCU, BYU at UCF.
It's double newcomer though, so.
Oh yeah, true. Good point. So basically the only two are Houston,
Cincy and Houston.
Cincy and Houston. Texas two-step.
Which did Kennedy took TCU and Baylor, right?
No, he stayed off TCU, but he went Waco.
So he went Houston and Baylor.
Yes.
So maybe Houston's the first one to get it done, and that would kind of make sense as they are very clearly the best of the newcomer group to be able to go on the road and actually do something in this league. But again, Cincinnati
they got to cover a favorite though. They got they're not covering as a dog. I mean, that's a lot more difficult than backdooring a 3-7 to cut it to 4 with 1 second for a backdoor cover.
From the past and what we know about the Big 12, we already knew it was going to be hard for the newcomers, even Houston, as good as they are, to come into the league and play the way that they have in the past, record-wise. So I don't know. Maybe the whole first year is just lumps for teams going on the road and figuring out. The middle of the pack in the Big 12 is still really fucking good.
Oh God. And like we're talking about, West Virginia sucks. That duly noted. That's still a hard place to play at. And for these teams that are going to go there for the first time, it's going to be a pain in the ass. Oklahoma State's not an easy place to play either, even though it's kind of been watered down over the last couple of years, but it's still a different environment with Gallagher-Iba, the history, just the orange seeding. It's different. So BYU, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, all at 0-2. How many get their first Big 12 win on Saturday?
Well, I think BYU gets it.
Yeah,
and
we all agree on BYU. Does West Virginia or Oklahoma State pull off upsets?
I would think West Virginia is more likely than Oklahoma State to win the game outright.
Yeah.
I'm pretty convinced that Oklahoma State's going to be able to cover the 13 on the road, but I just don't think that they get it done in Hilton. I would not be surprised if West Virginia was able to beat a Texas team off of a 1 point, emotional win going on the road. Yeah, maybe BYU and West Virginia do the rush parlay, the Mormons and the Moonshiners.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. We have three unbeatens left: Baylor, Texas Tech, and Kansas State. Well, one of them is going down because Texas Tech and K-State play.
K-State.
Do we? So basically, we're asking, does Baylor win? So we'll probably have two unbeatens at 3-0 going into next week, and I believe Baylor plays one of the two. Baylor plays K-State in the Scott Drew Jerome Tang matchup. Oh, dude, I totally forgot. This went right over my head, Troy. Back to Texas Tech and K-State. I actually like K-State more now. Two former Scott Drew assistants.
Yep.
Grant McCasland, Jerome Tang, they're best of friends. So, yeah. So we got Baylor all over the place. All right, enough of me blabbing about nothing. Let's go into Lock, Dog, and Tease.
I was going to say to our boy Mike here in the chat, we did go over UCF and BYU. We think it's a BYU smash spot. UCF used all their bath salts. There's not going to be much left. Their only chance is to pull out their boobies and get the Mormons frozen. So that was our summary of the BYU UCF game.
I love it. Lock. I'll get it out of the way. I'll go to the first game on the board. Rock Chalk, top 10, lay the points. Kansas get up spot, top 10 at the PHOG. I'm laying the 5.5 with the Jayhawks as my lock. I hate the Jayhawks.
I'm going against the complete system here, and I'm 0-2 on lock. So take this with a grain of salt. But I'm going to lock the favorite on the road, BYU.
Give me OK State plus 13.
Cowboys, I like it. So Troy's on BYU. Dog. Country roads take me home. Let's fucking go. I'm tired of this shit. I didn't give him out as my dog last time. I went to Iowa State. This is the one. This is the fucker. Because we all said last one was the one. So that always means the next one's the one. Mountaineers, get it done. Horns down all day. And, we'll sing Country Road Saturday night in Morgantown. Place going to be lit. Burn some couches. Get that moonshine ready, baby. Mountaineers, get it done. Troy.
The only dog I picked with the spread was Oklahoma State and was very adamant that I don't think that they can win the game outright. So I'm against one of my picks. I think the best chance for a dog to win outright is TCU at home. I think the game is either in TCU's hands at the end or Houston completely pulls away and covers. I don't think that there's going to be I don't think TCU is going to lose this game by 4 or 3 points or something like that. I think if they lose the game, Houston will cover. But besides that, I think TCU has a chance to get it done in like a 1 or 2 point win, like Max said.
So you're dogging it either side.
I'm dogging against.
Houston,
I'm going to win one of these dogs, okay?
It's actually, hey, you could give out for your dog Houston's alt line if you like that better. That is a dog.
Okay.
I was just throwing it out there because I know you liked Houston on the alt line, but yeah. All right, Rush, where you going, dog?
This is easy. Horns down.
Let's go.
WVU. I just tried to do that. I hope it looked good.
They don't know how to spell that well in Morgantown, guys. Don't.
Hey, just win. Who cares? Just win. West Virginia. Let's burn some couches Saturday night, Ryan. Let's get this.
Yeah.
Horns
this
down
Texas
last time in
shit
Morgantown.
Here.
Yeah, absolutely. West Virginia.
One last time to beat these jokers. All right. Let's go via DraftKings, proud sponsor of the Big 12 College Experience, a money line dog parlay. I think we all agreed West Virginia is going to be in it. Troy is against throwing Oklahoma State in it, so we don't have to do that yet. Are the money line? The money lines aren't out yet. This is the problem with doing the show so early. Let's throw a hypothetical one out. We can estimate what it's going to be. West Virginia will probably be around plus 185 if it's a 5.5 point dog. I would think plus 190, plus 175. So we'll throw them in there. Who else?
TCU is much more likely to win than Cincinnati on the road.
Rush, are you against throwing TCU in there?
No, I'm not against that. I don't feel great about that game.
So, all right. So TCU, same spread. We'll estimate it. It's probably going to be around a plus 180, 185, same spread, 5.5. That 5.5 is the bait because you're looking at it, you go, all they got to do is win by 6, 2 possessions. I think 5.5 is actually the telling number. Third game. Sorry, choked on myself.
Troy, would you put OK State in there?
To win outright?
Yeah.
I like
I do too.
I feel like if you're putting TCU in there, you as well put Oklahoma State in there.
Yeah.
But I would think about putting BYU in there at like minus 8.5 at an alternate spot.
You could do that. It's just so tempting with how juicy we know Oklahoma State's going to be. They're going to be
and they
plus
play so
600.
well in Ames, so I'm not really against it. Especially for a little season.
Troy loves the home teams.
Keep the bet.
Yeah,
well, I know the system in the damn Big 12, Rush. It's the home teams win fucking basketball games.
I know. Well, I think that's just college sports in general. I don't
know. Probably. It just
I think it's gonna be like
so
plus 500. Yeah. What could go wrong? Oklahoma State. I will say the teams though that do get the big wins seem to have letdown spots in this league. So we'll see how UCF and Iowa State do on Saturday. So I don't have that plugged in, obviously. So estimating, we're taking West Virginia on the money line against Texas, TCU on the money line against Houston, and we're going to take the Cowboys to go into Ames, Iowa, and get it done in the snowstorm. It's going to be snowing like hell there, so let's go. All right, another edition of the Big 12 College Experience in the books. Shout out to the chat. You guys are the absolute best. It's dude, season's fucking here. I mean, this is the gauntlet. This is why we love this channel. Big 12 on fire. Best league in America once again. Troy, what you got going on the rest of the evening and weekend?
Well, I just made a big ass pot of chicken soup in the middle of the day today. It's supposed to get cold and rainy, so
good time.
I know. I don't even know if the game is tomorrow or Sunday, but we have a 1:00 hockey game against the Rangers, so get to go watch the Caps get their ass whooped again. But
we beat the Rangers last time. It was on my birthday. I was there. 4-0.
It was nice. The free beer always helps, though. No matter what the score is, being able to get the free hookups in the stadium, which I will say to some of the cool chat members, if you're ever around DC and you wanna get a real tour of a stadium that has nothing to do with look at these great vantage points and all that, it has everything to do with come over here. Rashid's going to give us 8 free Miller Lights.
I get a kick out of the chat when a team doesn't cover back-to-back games. It's like, I'm never taking them again. It's like, dude, they almost just won as a 10-point dog outright the game before we gave them out. You got to have short-term memory. You got to play the spots. It is what it is. I know it's not comfortable. I know that
Michael's on you, man. Not even drug guess, but
I'm telling you, when they fucking win tomorrow, you're gonna be saying, "God damn it, I missed out on the party." Rush, what you got going on? Well, I know what you got going on, but tell everybody what you got going on.
No. Well, obviously, come check us out on the Ryan and Rush show. Just had an episode today before this, so please subscribe. Everything helps. Big year coming up for Big 12 college experience and Ryan and Rush show. We got some big announcements coming up, so go see what's going on over there. Obviously, Ryan, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. We did the NFL experience yesterday with J Mark. I stood on my what's it called, soapbox, and said everything about Belichick, and obviously Mayo got hired today, and we got NFL games, so a lot going on there. So check that out as well. It's going to be a great year, 2024. Looking forward to it. Of course, thank you everyone out there for your support as well. Come find me on the X at Rambling Rush, Twitter, Instagram. Let's chat it up. Let's have some fun. So anyway, love you guys. It's gonna be a great weekend.
Yeah, it will be a great weekend, especially when we beat Texas. I am at Moneyline_Mac. We'll be back in a couple hours on the college basketball experience, previewing fucking 150 games. Last Saturday was a riot, so you may want to get in there. I don't think it'll be as crazy as
it will
last
be.
Friday.
It will be.
It probably will be.
Don't forget, we're the appetizer tomorrow, everyone. Come find us at around 11 o'clock before the main channel comes on. Talk about the best league in America.
Yep, indeed. So, yeah, we'll be back. We'll tweet out what time we are. But, yeah, come join us tomorrow. That leads right into the college basketball experience. And, of course, go subscribe to the Ryan and Rush show. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, I guess. Yeah, we're all ready. So Big 12 is here. Best league in the land. Let's have a hell of a Saturday. And we are out of here. Horns down.
I'm trusting on you, chat, to make sure tonight's episode is just as crazy as last weekend.
I need Milwaukee to come back, damn it.